How's everybody doing? How you doing out there, guys, gals? Welcome to my channel. This is Healing from Depression with Tony. Tonight I want to do a Q&A. I want to do a Q&A. You heard my story. You heard from, I think, video number 1. I talked about, I gave you some of my background of what life was like before depression. I gave you just the kind of things I was into with social justice stuff. The next video I talked about getting diagnosed and being in denial about the diagnosis. The next video I talked about accepting the fact that it was depression and getting treated for it with medication, with therapy and counseling. The video after that, I talked about setbacks on along the waiting period and setbacks, and the intrusive thoughts in the waiting period to get well while you're trying to stabilize, while your body's trying to accept the medication, while you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Yeah, I talked about that. I talked about setbacks, how you when you think you're getting better and something happens and you get a setback and it takes you back, and then sometimes that could be a trigger. And I talked about finally turning a corner, what that was like. And I talked about when I turned the corner, how I still had some good days and bad days. And then I talked about finally coming out the woods, and why I made this channel. And I made this channel because I was coming across men and they weren't doing well, and at least, and I'm talking about strangers in the street. And so because it didn't take much to get the mask down from a man, to just ask a man how he doing on the inside, something usually people don't ask. Some people don't care because unfortunately sometimes with men, people only want to know if you can still provide. They don't really want to know all your drama and your struggles and stuff. Unfortunately, sometimes that's the case. So with a man, people just really want to know, can you still provide? And so sometimes that's unfortunate. So today I'm gonna do a Q&A. I got some core questions that every man that's struggling in silence needs to ask himself. So the title for this video is every man struggling in silence needs to ask himself questions. That's it. Questions every man struggling in silence needs to ask himself. So let's get on with it. Let me go for question number 1. How long have you been pretending you're okay? A, who are you performing strength for? B, what is it costing you to keep pretending? Question number 2, if this were happening to someone you love, would you tell them to man up? A, why do we offer compassion to others but deny it to ourselves? Question number 3, what are you actually afraid of if you ask for help? A, being judged. B, being seen as weak. C, losing control. Or D, has silence really protected you? Question number 4, who taught you that suffering quietly makes you strong? I'm going to read that one again. Who taught you that suffering quietly makes you strong? Is that belief helping you or hurting you? Question number 5. What's the difference between strength and stubbornness? A, are you being strong or just enduring pain unnecessarily? That's deep. Question number 6. How much longer can you live like this before something breaks? Your health, and if you're married, your marriage, your relationships across the board, and the biggest thing, yourself. How long can you live like this before you break? Question number 7. What would it actually mean to be honest just once? With a friend, a doctor, a therapist, or even a stranger? What would it actually mean to be honest? Question number 8. Are you afraid of help or afraid of hope? Because hope means risking disappointments again. Question number 9. What if asking for help doesn't mean you're weak, but that you're done suffering alone? A. What if that's the bravest thing you ever did? Question number 10, the most important question. If your story can help another man survive, would you still stay silent? Question number 10. If your story could help another man survive, would you still stay silent? A. Your scars could be someone else's lifeline. That's a very powerful question. And like I said at the beginning of this video, that's the reason I made this channel. Because make no mistake, do you think I really wanted to put my personal business on the internet? Of course not. Do you think I really wanted to show the world that I had broke somewhere, that I had a crack in my armor? That means I can't be this Superman all the time that we portray to be. Yeah. A lot of times we tell people to suck it up and all that, but there was a time for that. But as we evolve, what it basically is, you're asking someone to be a robot. So suck it up. Just suck it up, okay? So don't cry. Don't feel sad or be in touch with your emotions. Walk around and suck it up. And guess what? You're going to die on the inside. You know what women do? Women go get counseling, therapy, talk to their girlfriends, or stuff like that. Do you know what men do? Men take themselves out because they feel as though there is no other way, because they haven't been taught. We haven't been taught to go get help. We haven't been taught it's okay to get help. We haven't been taught or given permission that it's okay to cry. And so what does that make us? Are we even human if we can't cry, if we can't tap into our emotions, if we can't be emotional? Those are some of the things that we need to start to move away from. That suck it up had a time and place, but I think that we've evolved from sucking it up. I think people have sucked it up enough, and now people are deleting themselves and doing different things because they can't suck it up no more. And then, I had to find out when I finally was diagnosed with this depression, because I didn't even know what it was. I was still trying to figure out what the heck was wrong with me. But that I humbled myself enough to get the treatment, to do the therapy, to get the medication to balance myself out. But I didn't have the tools. I just didn't have the personal tools to deal with this, And so a lot of times you could be strong in all different kind of areas, but if you don't have the tools to fix something, you can't fix it. And this depression is one of those things, So I always encourage men to go get some therapy and counseling and medication if you're chemically imbalanced, but to sit home and just try to deal with it and suck it up and suffer, I don't think is wise, So with that being said, I would like to do some interaction. those are some of the questions. And even if you don't type them in, then you still should ask yourself them questions in your personal space. When you're all alone, you need to go through them questions and ask yourself that. But for the sake of this channel, come on, let's interact. And I promise you guys, this will be a safe place. None of that suck it up and all that. That ain't going down here. I'm just not going for it, because this is a healing channel. And I'm going to just tell people, if you're on that, just keep it moving. And let us heal, man. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to the interaction. I'm looking forward to the comments. I'm looking forward to answering questions. And you can ask me any question. Any question that you have, just type it into the chat. And, I'll do my best to thoroughly answer your question. And so we can all just get there. So thank you for coming to Healing from Depression with Tony. I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys. And let's just get there. And have a blessed evening, everyone. Thank you for coming.